Clic, mao. Ça tue, ça blesse, ça flingue. Hey, 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 mao.
Welcome back to the BME podcast, the best sports podcast in New Jersey. Today we have a very special guest. This has been one in the works, unbeknownst to y'all, for some time. We finally was able to do it. We got busy schedules, life be lifing. We made it happen. Autumn Rayne is in the building. I want to read everything to make sure I get it correct. So we have journalist, editor, radio host, creator, the driving force behind Beyond the Record, leads editorial vision at Compulsive Magazine and Low Key R&B, and hosts a weekly radio show. Autumn, thank you for hopping on.
Thank you. Thank you so much for having me. Like you said, it's been in the works for so long, so I'm so happy to be here.
Appreciate you taking time out your schedule to be here. Take care of some house schools first. Y'all know the vibes. Make sure you like, share, and subscribe. Tell any and everybody about the podcast. We're trying to be here for a good time and a long time. Yeah. Jersey made, Jersey bred, Jersey, big Jersey in the building. Always love having my people on from Jersey. How did growing up in Jersey influence your creative voice and trajectory where you're at?
That's a really good question. I am so proud to be from New Jersey. I absolutely love this state so much. I had to come back. I was in Rhode Island for a bit. I went to school at Johnson & Wales University in Providence. So shout out to y'all too. Love my Rhodey people. But Jersey is just always where home is at. And I just think being in the music entertainment scene, we have so many great people to have come from Jersey. So it just makes sense for me. I think about, we have Queen Latifah, Lauryn Hill, SZA. I'm probably missing a bunch of people right now, but I just think of all these, Whitney Houston, my girl, so many great artists have come from New Jersey. And while I'm not a musical artist like they are, it's just being around such great creatives has definitely helped spark my vision being from Jersey.
Most definitely. You don't have to be the musical artist in the studio laying down the track, but what you do though is still an art. So I think that's where all the worlds can collide, because we're creating art here. And that's where watching some of your interviews where people can actually connect with you and they have a natural conversation with you, because you're doing art too, and you appreciate that the art they're doing and they appreciate the art that you're doing, which I think is very important. Sidebar though, you said Rhode Island. How was it living in Rhode Island? I'm only driven through Rhode Island. I haven't actually stopped in Rhode Island. How is it living out there in Rhode Island compared to Jersey?
It's definitely different for sure. I was there for school, and then I got a job at WPRI, CW, Providence, Fox. So that's why I stayed up there. And then I was able to make a bunch of friends, lifelong friends I still have now. But it's definitely less diverse than New Jersey. I just love the fact that New Jersey has literally every single type of person here. So if that's important to you, at least where I was, it just wasn't that diverse for me. And I do love the fact that you're so close to the water. I'm from North Jersey, so we have to go down to the shore to the water. I lived on campus. One of the years I lived on campus, I literally lived I could see the harbor. So it was just so beautiful to wake up and look at the harbor. I'm how can I ever afford this in adulthood? So I took it. I was this is great.
I completely get that. I tell my wife all the time, down the line at some point, maybe retirement or whatever, I want a beach house. I want to have a vacation house, to the point of what you just said, to be able to wake up and you could see the winds and the waters, and that would be ideally. Now, if God want to bless it before that and throw a little money,
right,
money by my way, we appreciate that. For you, when did you first realize you loved storytelling? When did you first realize you love doing interviews and talking to people and writing and editing? When did you first realize that you love these things that you're doing now?
Yeah, I think it for me definitely, I know it's very cliche at a young age, but it did for me. My mom loves poetry and she got my sister and I have a little brother too, but mainly just my sister and I, we would like write poetry together, write poetry with my mom and stuff. And that was my first like experience with writing. And she put us in a competition and I came in like I didn't win. But I came in like third or something and I was like, wow,
Mm,
actually might be talented in this. It was like a kids poetry competition. So from there, it kind of like sparked my love for writing. And then I got to college and high school I did graphics for the newspaper, and then in
mm.
college I was a multimedia editor, so but I also wrote too and went to the sports games and all that type of stuff. So just kind of grew my love for writing throughout the years in like different mediums basically.
Shout out to moms and
Right.
shout out to that because it's mad funny. We have that in common too. I actually earlier, maybe that was maybe sixth or seventh grade. I forget exactly when, but I wrote a poetry little book or whatever for a contest, and actually I got second place.
Nice. See?
So I haven't wrote no poetry ever since then. But
It's been a while for me too, honestly. I gotta go back. It's a good like healing method, I feel like, when you have it in you to do.
most definitely, for you, because this is always something that I go back and forth with. I like doing this way more than actually writing down in that aspect of journalism. I'm not a
Uh-huh.
fan of it because, on certain levels, you got to make sure you got the right punctuations and you're using this. I'd rather talk to you.
Yeah.
Which do you prefer, the interview aspect for your podcast or journalism with the writing aspect?
Ooh, that's really I think I'm gonna give you I feel like this is not a great answer, but I'm just gonna give you the truth though, okay? So I feel like it depends on the day for me. It depends
Mm,
on the day. Certain days I love doing this, just like talking to people. Other days it's really therapeutic for me to have people just like trust you tell their story in the written word. Like I just feel so honored to do that. And I sometimes like to look back and be like, wow, like I'm so proud of myself that I was able to put these words and have them flow together. So that aspect of it for me is really important. But I really do feel like it depends on the day.
I respect that. For me, it don't depend on the day. If I could do this, like I have what's I forgot even what it's called. One of those the most popular site where people have their own. They write their own articles, and it's a bunch of journalists on there. I
Substack?
Yes, I created one. I wrote
Uh-huh.
one article. Said, "Nah, bro, we good. Like we good."
I
For
feel
you,
you.
with the writing aspect, right? How do you, and I know this wasn't a part of the question I asked, but I find it interesting, especially being that you said it depends on the day, and you made a great point in regards of you have to be very careful in the words you choose in telling somebody's story in written
Yeah,
form.
for
That's
sure.
a very, like you said, that's a heavy thing that you can't really play around with that. How do you continue to master your craft of writing? Like, how do you say sharp?
I think it's just for me, like, luckily now it's just like my everyday job. So I write constantly for the past like 5-ish years. I've been just literally writing every single day because it's just my 9 to 5. But prior to that, when I was like my first job out of school when I was working for like the CW and CBS and Fox and stuff, I didn't write every single day. It was more like visual media, so being on TV and everything. So I didn't write as much. It was like literally a couple years ago. I was like, let me get a actual planner, like a planner that I can write in because I have really neat handwriting, but I felt like I wasn't practicing. So now my handwriting sucks, you know? So I make a note to just literally write with a pen and paper as often as I can, even if it's a grocery list, just writing something.
So that I could agree with you on. I now still to this day, my wife makes fun of me all the time. Why don't you just print it out? I literally will write down all of the questions that I have for somebody. I will write down the research. I will write down the notes
Yeah,
just because it just feels, I don't know, it feels better pen to paper still.
I agree.
Maybe because I'm 30 plus now, maybe I'm an old head, but give me a pen and paper
Yeah.
any day of the week for sure. What you mentioning so far in the episode, some of your earlier roles from graduating college, which of those earlier roles for you you feel have actually helped you and what you're doing now and shape how you operate?
That's a good question. I think all of them in a way have helped me, but specifically, I would say being the multimedia editor for college, that helped me run a small group of people, like lead and all the things that come with leadership, being organized and punctual and stuff like that. So that helped me a lot in that aspect. And I think my first job, I give so much credit to like who I am in my career because it just made me work so hard because I was literally had my hand in every single department in some type of way. And so, just for clarity, too, like I worked at a news station, but I worked in the creative services department, like the promotions department. So, we did a lot of like commercials and ads you see like on the TV, like local ads and stuff. So, when I did like was done with my day to day for that role, I also was helping like produce and direct an entertainment segment. I worked with a lifestyle show, doing a PA work for them every single day, going out with the commercial director and helping him assist him as well. And then eventually, like doing my own stuff there. So it was really dope because I was able to literally just work with every single department and learn about what everyone does in the whole like vicinity of the station. So I credit them a lot to what I'm able to do skill wise.
That's huge to be able to. I've always appreciated that. This is why I've had on our show, we've had photographers, we've had the people that's behind the
Yeah.
camera, the videographers. I don't know why, but it always interests me to see, all right, how did that break down? How did they get that shot? What was this? I'm a big documentary guy, so
Love
I'll
that.
watch those documentaries breaking down. How did they record the Cosby Show? Like weird
Uh-huh.
stuff like that. I completely love it and I understand. It's good to have that knowledge from knowing everything
Yeah.
because then you could figure out too, like, I actually like doing that more. Maybe I should get involved in that. So that's huge. Credit to you for having your hands in that many things
Thank you.
and picking it up. For you, right? Who has been some inspirations, some people that you look up to that motivate you in the journalism, in the media space, whether past, present, alive,
Oh.
not alive, anybody?
I'm gonna think about three people for three different reasons. So, and yeah, all women, but it'll be funny. Okay, so number one, I have to go with Oprah because she just laid the foundation to see like a black woman on TV, her own show. Like I just felt like I learned so much like listening to her and watching her throughout the years, and even what she's doing now, like going into print magazines and stuff like that. Like she's just amazing to me. Then I have to go with Taylor Rooks because she's just a bomb in every sense of the word. Like she's absolutely amazing sports broadcaster for those. I know everyone here probably knows who she is, but she's just amazing. Another amazing black woman just to see her on the sidelines of all of these games and just doing her absolute best. Like she works so hard, a huge inspiration for me. And third is a fictional character. And I'm going to do Gabrielle Union in Being Mary Jane. So that show is about her as a yeah, okay, as a
I,
broadcaster, right? As a broadcaster, and my one of my friends, she watched that show too, and she's like, "Oh, she reminds me so much of you. I feel like this is going to be your pivotal point, like working in New York, big things, big TV, everything, and maybe one day that can happen for sure." But I just think having a like a network show that also features a Black woman in that role, how she navigates life outside of being in the media, dating, and all of that, family. Yeah, so those three.
those are a solid three right there for sure. And I always, if anybody ever pays attention to this show, I sing the praises of Taylor Rook. That's somebody that I study too. Like,
Yeah,
she is really, really, really good
yeah,
at her interviews and getting people to talk and being comfortable. And yeah, that's one of the definitely always shout her out for sure.
yeah.
But yeah, definitely that's dope. And I'm glad you mentioned fictional character too. I love TV, so I know exactly you're talking about Being
Great.
Mary Jane.
Uh-huh.
And they kind of basically did the same thing with the show on the Apple TV. With
Oh yeah.
the season
Uh,
4 is out now.
I know I'm blanking on the name too. It's a like Jennifer Aniston's in
The
it and
morning show. There
the
we
morning
go.
show. Yes, yes, yes.
Yes, I feel a little inspiration from Being Mary Jane went into that aspect, but
Absolutely.
I'll digress. You mentioned all Black women, right? For
Yeah.
you, being in this space as a woman and a Black woman in general, what are some of the challenges that you've had to face and endure, and how have you gotten over them?
Okay, so to be very blunt, just racism. Racism, racism. It is horrible. It sometimes it comes like very bluntly and in your face, and other times it's very like subdued. Uh like even specifically like one time I remember working and this one person always tried to describe me as an intern, and I'm like, I work here full time. Like, oh, like literally, I know I was young, but it's just like always referring to me as an intern, like, oh, your internship is so long. I'm like, because I work here. And it's like you have to politely say that. You can't just like, yell and now you're just like the angry Black woman. So you have to always kind of have that backwood approach and be like, okay, I have to say this in the most respectful, calm, polite way. So now I'm not taking it, even though I was the one that was like insulted, right? So it's that. And then it's also just like being a woman too, especially in roles of leadership when you're not thought of. Like one time I wanted this role, and not saying that like I definitely could have done it, but I was looked out at, I wasn't looked for it because someone else was able to get that role because a white man at that, because their father was like higher up in the company. So, and it was just really unfortunate for me. And I was like, kind of like, had me look back like, okay, Autumn, you're going to still keep going. You're still going to get to where you need to go. Like, don't let these incidents, deter you from your main goal. So it's all right.
Uh, There's a lot was said right there. Like, to your point, I'll start with you. What you said last of yeah, whatever God has for you is going to be for you regardless. Like,
Yes.
obviously that door wasn't supposed to be the door that you were supposed to have, and He has
Right.
something better for you. So it's
Mhm.
really important, like you said, how we respond. Uh, because I was in a situation, funny enough, at the U.S. Open when I worked the U.S. Open, and it was like I was telling
Oh,
my wife, I'm like, yo, as Black people, when certain things happen in the workforce, you have to be very calculated and mindful in how you respond, and have to
definitely.
see if you have an advocate in the higher ups
Yeah.
sometimes, because sometimes you gotta, like you said, sometimes you gotta, all right, see what happened. All right, I know how to move differently. Okay,
Yeah.
cool. You show me your true colors. You just don't like me because I'm Black. All right, cool. I know how to operate. I know where to keep you at. In
Yep.
other cases, you're able to speak up because you be like, all right, there's somebody here that can advocate and understand where I'm coming from. It's kind of
Yeah.
tough sometimes for us because like if it's we don't see nobody that looks like us that is in management,
Yeah.
our claims, our gripes might not be taken seriously because they don't understand,
Yeah. Yeah.
which is always tough because like all right, if I say it, y'all might not take it serious. Y'all might think, oh, Autumn's just being dramatic.
Yeah.
Autumn, oh, you're just in your feelings. Oh, is it that time of the month? Like I've heard all of the craziness.
Yeah.
So I always like to have these discussions, which are needed and honest discussions, like how do you operate in the workforce as a black person?
Yeah. It's like a lot of times when I know I love that you mentioned God as well, because a lot of times when I pray and I'm just like, okay, I need discernment and I also need discipline in this moment, because I know that this can be blown up to it be bigger than it needs to be. And I think one thing to take from it too is just like having that outside support system, because I can go to my mom, she's going to understand. I can go to my best friend, she's going to understand. Even my non-black best friends, like they get it too, you know? And it's just like you need more people that don't look like you that get it, you know? And they know that I'm not being dramatic, I'm not taking out of proportion. It's like this someone is insulting me. And those are just small incidents, like, you know, even like before too, like I had braids at a job and this white woman kept saying I had locks. Like why? But she said it in a way that was like a microaggression, you know, like she wasn't,
Mm-hmm.
she wanted to, she was trying to insult me by saying that. And I'm like, well, I think locks are beautiful, but these are not locks, these are box braids, you know? So those other things too, like how you wear your hair. Like right now my hair is straight, you know, because I want it to be straight, but sometimes I wear it naturally curly and stuff. Different texturism is huge too. It's like so many things as black women that you have to go through in the workforce just to be normal, just so that you can do your job. It's so discouraging sometimes and exhausting. I just hope that it gets better. Like I hope for the next generation, like they have, you know, a better sense of self too as well when they get into these situations.
Most definitely, I feel our generation and the generation coming up, especially generation coming up,
They
they ain't,
bold.
yeah, they ain't really get the memo of all right. Let me be calculated how I say it. No, they gonna let you. They gonna let you know for sure and deal with the consequences after. So I think we'll see change for sure in this competitive space.
Mhm.
Extremely competitive space, especially being in this market. You know, I know firsthand.
Yeah.
Everybody in the world would love to come work in two main markets in the country:
Yes.
LA, Hollywood area,
Mhm.
New Jersey, New York.
Yeah.
You are in the New Jersey, New York media market. For you, how do you stay motivated? How do you stay inspired? How do you stay sharp, but also avoid burnout?
It is very, very difficult to do those things. And I love that you how you called out the markets, because as you know, the bigger the market, the more people are vying for your job, because you want to start out like you start out in like smaller markets. Like I started out in Rhode Island and came back down to Jersey, New Jersey, like New York metropolitan area. And I think that it's hard, but I think my peers keep me motivated, like just looking on to see like what they're doing, and just they keep me motivated for sure. My peers, my family, my friends that are outside of media keep me motivated. And I'm trying to work with the burnout situation. I've done better this year. Trying to take trying to take more vacations. I definitely the one several good things about my job. I love my job, but I work remotely. So I'm able to work on the road, and that is just so much like relief I get because I can work from anywhere. One of my best friends lives in the Bay Area, so I've been visiting her a lot this year because she got married this year. So I was in her wedding and I was able to attend, because that's a big thing, getting the PTO to be a part of these big moments in your friend's life. Sometimes you just don't get it. So working remotely is definitely a perk, but just having a life outside of work too. Having a life outside of work, having good friends, having good family members, like that is so key to being successful, but also like having that relief that has nothing to do with work.
Nah, that's very vital of having that balance. Cause funny enough, I saw media days happening in NBA, and this 16-year vet, C.A. McCollum, said he was talking to one of the younger players, only been in the league for 2 years, and he asked me, "Yo, what do you do outside of basketball?" He said, "I just do basketball and I sleep." He said, "Nah, young fella, you're gonna have to find you a hobby. He's
Yes,
like, you don't. He was like, you're 19, you don't play video games? No, I don't play video. You're gonna have to find something
something. Yes.
outside of your 9 to 5.
Yep.
Very vital for that balance, for the success, for not burnout, for your mental health." So it's funny you said that because I literally saw that like today. Like, so it's definitely needed, the balance. And shout out to the remote. I'm looking for something remote too. Remote is where it's at for sure.
Yes.
All the success that you've had thus far, and you may feel you have a bunch more left to do. You may feel you don't have success as of yet. From what I've read and in my research and all of the interviews and all of the roles that you've had, you have had success. Where
Thank
do you
you.
see yourself 5 years from now?
Thank you so much for that, first of all, because I definitely have a lot of, imposter syndrome when it comes to that. So I really appreciate that first. And secondly, that is so tough. I think, okay, when I came to, I'm gonna obviously tell my age. I really don't care. But when I came back to New Jersey, I was 25, and I just left my first job, and that was in 2020. So now I'm 30. I just turned 30 in March, and I wouldn't have imagined that my career had panned out to where it would be in those 5 years. Just really just like kind of, locking in and just going for opportunities that I just didn't think I would have. Right. So in the next 5 years, I would love I don't have a like, I feel like I don't have a dream job. I just
Mm,
like, it's weird, but I don't. Like, I think there's something I like. I just like to do a lot of things. I like producing, I love editing, I love every aspect of journalism, So it's really tough for me to have one main job, but I would say that something I would love to have is maybe like I've always loved to have my own media company, like just starting
mm,
from the bottom, like doing an all service media company, uh, from eventually maybe like commercials, because I have experience with that, maybe short films, being able to help the next generation of aspiring creatives. Like that's really huge to me. Something like that. And hopefully a family that would be awesome too within the next like 5 years and stuff. So like uh yeah, yeah, maybe like more towards the end though. Like I like to, to be honest, like 35 plus. I'm like, I don't know, like I feel like a lot of like women too, like we try to, I've always been very career focused. But it is nice like going to these weddings and stuff, seeing all my friends get married and stuff too. It definitely has some type of impact on you. Like, oh, okay, like my time will come for this eventually. So yeah. Maybe like towards the end of that 5 year mark you just mentioned.
hey, all that sounds good, and on that regard, it's all on your timeline when you feel
Right.
ready. In your case, whether or not you feel God sent this person, like, there's no need,
Yes.
definitely no need at all And
Yeah.
this is not to you. This is for all those that's watching. You don't gotta rush this marriage thing. It is not something that needs to be rushed. You want to take your time. Make sure you and that person is ready.
Yes.
Because after I heard this, one of the best pieces of advice I've ever received, make sure the person that you're marrying is somebody that you want to be with after the wedding day. Because everybody loves the wedding day. That's the
True.
best. Oh, we dancing and we partying and we doing this and oh, this is good food and you see your uncles and your cousins. But then after that's done, you're not having a wedding every day.
Yeah, that's
Can you be
true.
with that person just in the regular mundane of I woke up, you got bad morning breath, you gotta go get this, you gotta go make the coffee. Like, can you be with that person then? So
Yeah.
most definitely, yeah. I will have you back on in 5 years for sure.
Yes.
This is your home podcast now, outside of yours, obviously. This
Yeah.
is your home podcast. So I tell all guests, if you ever anything ever monumental happening, you wanna, hey Tone, I wanna come talk my stuff. I'm feeling myself right now. I done did. Just send the email, send the chat, and we'll set it up for sure.
Yes. I'm gonna Taylor Rooks it. That's what I wanted to add too. I'm gonna Taylor Rooks it how she just put on the timeline. Oh yeah, by the way, I got married. My friend joked with me with that. I called her after a while and she was just like, "Are you engaged?" I was like, "Girl, I don't have a boyfriend. What are you talking about?" She was like, "But you would do that." I'm like, "Yeah, you're right."
I do love that the fact that she did that because especially as you grow in that media space, as you grow in social media period, you have a presence. Some things are left best kept secret.
Absolutely.
Some things are
Absolutely.
best kept private. Like
Yeah.
you don't have to. I think that's a our generation and the generation coming up has a issue sometimes balancing it. Everything does not have to be posted and
Yes.
shared. And I'd say even the generation of our parents, because they do it another way. Hey guys,
They post everything.
I'm on the toilet while I was reading the paper. Like they do it on another scale of like, all right, TMI, like chill out, pops. But
Yeah.
our generation does it on a completely other side of the spectrum too. So it's like, shout out to Taylor Rooks again. We love you,
Again,
Taylor. We
we
love you, Taylor.
do. We do.
Being so far from high school, like you mentioned, you've been doing this for a minute. You know this is what you wanted to do.
Yeah.
And the entirety of you being in this space, and the entirety of your journey getting to where you are now, what has been the best piece of advice you feel you've received that you would like to share with the people?
That is a good message. I think I think something I'm gonna butcher this so badly, but my dad took this quote. I don't know where he took this quote from, but it's not originally from him. But he said this to me before, like, because he's a track coach, and like growing up, like like around sports and stuff like that, he's always like motivating his runners and obviously us as his, like kids, just to do the best, right? So he always said that uh hard okay, I'm gonna mess this up before I edit this, but like talent works
I
someone
got
tell
you.
me
I
talent
got you.
works
I have it. I have it tattooed on my back. Hard work beats talent when talent fails to work hard.
yes, that's it. Thank you so okay, perfect. That's why it's meant to be. Yes. Okay, so that's it. That is the quote. My dad always said that to me, and I butcher that every single time because I always mess up which one comes first. But that's it. Yes, that's it. That's definitely a really good piece of advice. And also, the one of my favorite movies ever is Coach Carter. So like the
Mm.
iconic poem from there too is something that I keep very deeply to me. I had it on my graduation cap. So if you guys don't know what I'm talking about, it's about like basically be like you're kind of like scared of how great that you can be in this world. Obviously, I'm gonna butcher that as well. So but that's the gist of it. I'm not a quote girly, but that is watch the movie. I know you guys have watched it probably on this podcast, but that's my favorite movie of all time. The poem in there that he says. So yeah, definitely.
I'll see if I can find a screenshot of the words he said when I post this. So we got you.
I
We
got
got you.
Hold on. I'm gonna say it on here so you can just edit it to pretend like I was smart and I said it. Okay? Hold on. Okay, I got it. Okay. This is the quote that I love. Our deepest fear is not that we are inadequate. Our deepest fear is that we are powerful beyond measure. It is our light, not our darkness, that most frightens us. There you go. That's
That
it.
yeah, that one definitely. It's a basketball movie, but that one you could take that in all aspects of life. Like
Yeah.
that's a all time quote right there, and something to just keep in mind. Like a lot of times we, as a people, we are our biggest enemies. We
Yeah.
stop ourselves from being what we could be. And I heard this quote: "The grave is the richest place in the world because it's a bunch of dreams that never actually came into fruition, that
Yeah.
never was put forward because fear, people that just didn't try." Hey, I always give love and props to anybody in this space because it's like it's a lot of them too. It's a lot of people that have the idea like, oh, I want to do an R&B, I want to talk to musical artists, and it stays
Yeah.
just there.
Yeah.
It stays there in their head. They talk about it for years. Oh, I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna. Next thing you know, it never happens.
Yeah.
The people that actually like, I heard somebody tell me this. One of my mentors was like, you have to keep this in mind in what you're doing in any aspect of life.
Yeah.
He was like, I'm proud of you for the pod or whatever. And I was like, for what? Like, I ain't making no money from it right now. And at this time, I wasn't getting really guests and all. Like, I'm still learning this. Like, I had this idea and I just did it. And I'm still to this day learning, like, all right, this is how it should look. This is what you should do.
Uh-huh.
This, that, and the third. But he's like, no, I'm proud of you because you did it. You
Aw.
actually did it. So
Yes.
it's like, that's what I share with people like yourself and others. Like, hey, you may not be at the top level as of yet, but you did it. There's
Yes.
somebody that you know or don't know that didn't actually do it. You had a dream and you did it. That in itself, give yourself a little bit of a pat on the back. I did it actually.
Literally, that is so true. I think we sometimes undermine that. Like, I wanted to do my podcast like maybe 2 years before I actually started it, but I kept talking about it. And I'm like, what's stopping me right now? And I just wanted to be, like everyone was doing podcasts, which I think is great. I think everyone should do a podcast, like be on a podcast as a guest. Like, you can see so much work that goes into it, and that's how you learn why so many people quit, because it's so much work. It's literally like I'm setting up for my next week's episode and I'm just like, I have to edit, I have to do this, like it's so much, but it's worth it. It's so rewarding in the end, honestly.
I again, hats off to you because I understand
Thank
how
you.
much work it
Get
goes
it.
into it, especially being that we haven't got to our goals of where we want to be yet. You are the editor, the producer, the showrunner. You are you create the questions, you do the research. I don't think people understand that aspect. I don't think people respect that aspect. Like you see the
Yeah.
big podcasts, they have hear about them all the time. Cam and Mace, it is what it is. Yeah, we
Uh-huh.
started off, we put $11 million of our own money in. We don't have $11 million to put of our own money in.
What?
we are we are not backed by Fox. We are not backed
No.
by we are the team. We have to
Yes.
market. We have to then post the post. And
Yes.
again, avoiding that burnout, like, yo, I want to make sure I get this club out.
Yes. That's, you need a break.
It's
You got to take breaks. Like, that is the only thing you can do. I think just And sometimes like it's a privilege to even take a break, which shouldn't be like that, but it feels like that. Like I felt like I wasn't doing something for 2 hours earlier today and I felt bad about it. I'm like, I should be doing something, but I'm like, no, like I can actually watch a show, like, like just be normal and not work on something. But it's just that irrational fear that I'm forgetting to do something. So gotta do better.
We'll transition to our fourth quarter, but I was literally there yesterday, literally like, and I had to remind myself like, nah, sometimes I need a break from this. Like I don't want to see nothing with a sport. I don't want to. I'm gonna just go watch something completely unrelated. I
Yes.
don't want to have, like you said, sometimes that is very much needed. I had to tell myself that yesterday. I'm like, nah, I should go edit this other clip, had this out. Nah, bro, relax. It is. It is what the algorithm will do. Whatever the algorithm is going to do, it'll happen in its time. You just already put out 6 straight clips. Shit, relax.
Yeah.
Go sit down. Go watch a documentary on some animals or something, like something completely unrelated. So again, mad funny because I literally, what you just said, I literally had that conversation with myself yesterday. So we are
Yeah.
on the same page with that. Transition into our fourth quarter segment, some of our more of our fun rapid fire questions. We're gonna go with the fourth quarter segment. I don't know why I repeated that. That will be edited out. That was a brain fart right there.
You're good. You're
All right.
good.
Glad we ain't go live because that'd be it is what it is. All right. So everybody knows me personally, that has been on my show. I am a foodie, a huge foodie. For you, I ask every single guest a food related question. What's your go to comfort food or meal that you never get tired of?
Ooh. Uh, that is so hard for me. I feel like I'm the opposite. I'm obviously I eat. I'm alive, but I'm not a huge foodie. I have friends that are foodies, right? But like a new restaurant like doesn't like necessarily really excite me or like okay, if I get to it, I get to it. Like I just like the conversation aspect of like going to dinner. But of food, anything my mom cooks, I'm good. But I will say, because I had trouble with this, I will say I never get tired of like a good fillet, a good steak. Oh, mashed potatoes or like Parmesan fries or something, and then maybe some asparagus, a glass of red wine. Like, I will never be upset with that. You promised me that, you made my whole week. Like, I will always say yes to a steak dinner. I'm there.
I have no disagreement right there. That's one of my favorite things as well is steak. Give me a nice steak and I'm set. I'm happy. I legit it was funny. My mom knows I've been trying to like stay away from red meat for a little bit, take a little break of that.
Uh-huh.
And she came in from a dinner and was like, "Yeah, they had an extra meal." She's like, you not eating beef or nothing like that, right?" I was like, nah, I'm taking a break from it." She's like, "Dad, because they had a steak dinner that somebody paid for it, but nobody picked it up." I said, "Oh." I said, that could be my cheat. That could be my cheat meal. You can leave that on the table right there.
Uh-huh. It's safe right here.
It was steak and mashed potatoes. I was like, yeah.
Ooh,
Shout out to moms. Leave that right there.
right.
I'll eat it today. I had some water with it, and we good. But most definitely. So you
Yes.
mentioned earlier Jersey artists. This was not on the list of questions, and if
Uh-huh.
you need to look something up, look in your phone. So
Uh-huh.
be it. But
Uh-huh.
you mentioned Jersey artists. For you, who are some of your favorite artists
Oh, just in
from
general?
favorite artists in
Oh,
general, and then your favorite artists from Jersey?
okay. That's totally fine. I could do that. Okay. So I would say my favorite artist, she's in both categories from Jersey and is one of my favorite artists, Whitney Houston. hands down. Love Whitney Houston. Lauryn Hill, also from Jersey. SZA went to my high school. Like, those are Jersey and favorite artists. I love Queen Latifah too, but same. But I would say those four. I'm trying to think. I'm probably gonna miss someone, but my favorite artist of all time is Beyonce. I'm a part of the Beehive, so always got to put Beyonce there. Go Houston. Uh, I just realized I named all girls too, all women. But I do love Usher. Obviously, Michael Jackson. I feel like you just can't mention music without mention him. Michael Jackson, uh, Usher. I know the whole Drake and Kendrick phenomenon, but I love them both. So, let me see. Bryson Tiller just came up with a new album. I'm trying to think. There's so many people I really like. Doja Cat. Um, then Cardi B. I love her new album. Yeah, Lotto. Like, there's so many artists I like. I could go on forever. But yeah, those are my top like Jersey and overall artists for sure.
Solid list right there. This is the first time I will be introducing this question. I've had this one in the tuck for different aspects, not in the music aspect, in the sports aspect. But this is the first time I'm gonna ask this one. I'm gonna see if it worked. I'm testing it out on you to see if it's a good question. All right.
Okay.
If aliens landed on Earth and wanted to understand R&B,
Okay.
which three artists would you make them listen to, and in what order?
Ooh. Ooh. Okay. Alrighty. I would say I'm gonna start off with the GOAT, which is for me, it's gonna be Michael Jackson. I know he's pop, right? But I feel like he has a lot of like R&B. Maybe I shouldn't do Michael Jackson. Maybe I'll do strict R&B. I'm gonna go with Usher. I'm gonna go with Usher. Beyonce. See, a lot of my favorite artists are like they're R&B and pop, So but I would say strictly, I would do Usher, Michael Jackson, Beyonce.
In that
I
order?
no. Not me not answering the question right. Okay. This is
No,
okay. Let
you answered
me.
those are three artists. And then
Yeah.
what order would you have? Would you have the aliens listening to it?
I feel okay. Can I answer this question again? I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Okay, because I'm gonna just do three women. I think that's what I'm gonna do. I'm just gonna
Okay.
do three women. Okay. Okay. Let me just do three women. All right. So I would do Whitney Houston, Beyonce, and SZA. And I know I mentioned them before. But there's reasons behind my madness this time. Okay. So I'm going to do Whitney Houston because I feel like she is one of like the first artists, me personally. I was like, wow, like a vocalist, multi dimensional artist of all. Like, so the aliens got to listen to her first. I feel like she's amazing. Then oh, I totally missed someone, but it's okay. I'm gonna do an honorable mention at the end. Then I'm gonna do Beyonce because she's of like the generation beneath Whitney. So I'll just do Beyonce. And for several reasons, she's Beyonce. I feel like the aliens don't like Beyonce or Whitney Houston. I don't know what to tell them. Then New Age, I'm gonna do SZA because they need to know what we're listening to now. Like when they come to Earth, they're like, okay, so like these are what the clubs are gonna be playing. You know what I'm saying? So I would do those three in that order. But then I have to do an honorable mention for Brandy because she is the vocal Bible. So they got to listen to her too as well. I'm going to slide that one. I'm going to slide her in. So yeah, those would be the three.
So completely, completely unrelated. Was not on. Well, it's not unrelated, but completely not on the list because you mentioned Whitney, right?
Uh-huh.
When we were, well, at least for me, you maybe probably knew, But for me, when I was growing up and I was hearing all of the hits from Whitney, right? I didn't know as a kid that these weren't originally her songs, but
Yeah.
she ended up singing them. And at the end of the day, we typically don't even talk about who originally sang these songs because she did it 20 times better.
Yeah.
For you being in the music space, right? Do you feel it is a slight or a knock on an artist's greatness if they're mainly successful on doing covers and they don't have anything original themselves? Obviously, she had originals, but I'm just saying,
Yeah. Yeah. No, I totally get your question. Okay. So I would say yes, in a way, because it is kind of like, okay, this is like, oh, this is like Beyonce's song, but it takes so much to make a song. There's no one that has made a very successful song and they're the sole person like behind that song, right? So I think it'll be someone like, I think it does in a way, just to answer your question. It does kind of like, I don't say like mess up their image or, their artistry or whatever. But someone like Beyonce, and then you're comparing her to someone who does covers on YouTube, like, hey, that person has a great voice, the YouTube person, but can you do what Beyonce can do vocally? Someone like, I also missed him when I was talking about artists that aliens should listen to, but Stevie Wonder. Stevie Wonder is an all-encompassing artist as well, and it's just like no one can do what he does, Quincy Jones, like no one can do what he does. Producers too, like Pharrell and Timberland, like there's just so many components in what an artist can do, how a song comes out. I do think that it kind of does look at it. It's like, oh, like no one can do what Whitney could do. But I also think that for her, because she also has such great originals, this is why she's just who she is.
that's what I think it should be. Personally, I'm not going to say I'm in the music space or a music professional or music critique. Just in my humble opinion, somebody that came to mind for me when I hear Whitney, for example, in the gospel space is like Tasha Cobbs Leonard.
Yeah.
I found out 90% of that bag is covers.
Yeah.
As a fan on the outside looking in, I'm like, all right, cool, you do a cover. Do you got anything original in your bag? And I don't recall much of the original. There is some
Uh-huh.
original. And when the original it isn't as good as the other songs that are covers. So that's where I kind of look at artists different. Like, all right, I get it.
Yeah.
If you took somebody else's song, you did a cover to it, it sounds great.
Uh-huh.
Do you have any music where the originals sound just as good as you do the covers? Because you kind of taking the sauce from somebody else. Oh, this worked? All right, cool. I'm going to do it. Or in Whitney's case, Dolly Parton, it kind of was good. It wasn't a special sauce already with Dolly.
Uh-huh.
Whitney took it and elevated it. So I think
Yes.
it's a dichotomy when it comes to that space. I just wanted to share an opinion on it.
Of
I'm a
course.
outside looking in. I'm like, did you elevate the cover, or are you just doing covers that already has success?
And that's exactly your point too. And that's why I think that makes Whitney a different kind of artist where you don't even think about that being a cover, right? Because she was able to elevate it and put like her own sauce on it. You know what I'm saying? Versus someone that's already taking a song and then just like, hey, I can sing it too. I can sing well, and just redo it. It's like just microwaving a song. Like I want it straight from the pan. Okay. Like, come on.
So somebody that is definitely involved and pays attention to the fashion space with musical artists, with entertainers, who comes to mind for you as the top five, your favorite five fashion forward musical artists that, hey, they be putting that on. They got drip. whatever the young people are saying now.
I would say the first person that comes to mind is Rihanna. I just feel like she got the hits and she got the clothes to match it. Like it's Rihanna is just in her own category. And then I think too, and maybe this is just maybe my fashion sense as well. Like I thought about a lot of men too who have been elevating the fashion scene. So I first thought of ASAP, which is, you know, her man. So ASAP Rocky. And then I really like what Lewis Hamilton is doing fashion wise. And girls, I would say I would go back to I would say Zendaya. I think she's styled very well by obviously Law Roach, but the way she wears clothes is amazing. She always has a amazing. I can't wait to see her on a red carpet. It's just her alone. I will go watch the red carpet. You know, so that's four I named, and then I would say, oh yeah, Lewis Hamilton is obviously he's not a musical artist, but
It's
he's
cool.
an athlete. But let me see. A fifth person. A fifth person I would say is I don't want to say Beyonce again. I love what she wears too, but when I think about I loved all of her like looks for her tours and stuff like that. But I'm trying to come up with one other person. This is really hard because I feel like I did have a fifth person and now I'm blanking on who that fifth person was.
Maybe I'll throw somebody out there and you let me know if you like how they their fashion sense. Tiana Taylor.
Oh yes, Tiana Taylor. Yes. Okay, great. Thank you. Thank you. All right, so that's my list. So I would say Rhea. But you okay, also did you notice besides Zendaya, right? Tiana Taylor and Rihanna, they also dress well in men's clothes. Like that is the look I inspired to have because they're just so cool. They're both beautiful women and they have such a good sense of styling men's clothes, like better than the men a lot of times. Like I saw this interview with ASAP. He was like, he always has to like hide his stuff from her, you know, like he's saying like, oh, like she's always borrowing something. And then they did like a slide of all the stuff like she's taken from his closet. So stuff like that. I'm just like, I'm just so like inspired by for sure.
Shout out to them for sure. And that kind of just thinking about it, Tiana Taylor in ways kind of reminds me of you in regards of her hands is in everything. Cause you know now she does the production, she's doing directing, she's behind the camera as well as being in front of the camera. So just thinking about everything that we shared in this episode, I can see the similarities and I can see the mindset. And like she always talks about like the creative genius to be able to touch all of those. And like you said, 5 years from now, you kind of want to be doing in the same space commercials. And that literally just now, since we brought her name, that literally makes me think of Tiana Taylor. And that's one of the things I like and I respect about her. She's doing fashion shows. She's directing the music video. Yes. She actually is producing the music video. She's in the music video. She's writing storylines. She's an actress. She's actually helping out with the movies. And
that is the best compliment ever. She's a god. She's amazing. A goddess. Like, oh, she's the greatest. I think, yeah, maybe that she's just going to have to be my inspiration career-wise as well. Just doing, I literally just want to do everything. Like, that's so crazy, but I just want my hands in every single thing because I think that's just how my brain works. It doesn't turn off. Like, I'll be in the middle of the night grabbing my phone. Oh, this is a good idea. Oh, this is a good idea. Like it just doesn't shut off.
I'm the exact same way. I have to do a better job of then executing said dream or thought that comes, oh, this would be great. And then it sits there.
Yeah.
Gotta then put it into action because it's like you said, it's a bunch of ideas that's always coming. I think Probably know the answer to this question, but I'm asking anyway. If you could trade places with any celebrity that you admire, who would it be?
Oh my God. I feel like everyone that I would trade places with now has kids. And after like being around like my niece and like my other friends that have kids and stuff, I'm like, I don't know if I want to. Maybe the nanny got to be there too. As long as their nanny is available, I can trade places with these people. But I would say my first instinct is to say Beyonce, right? But I want to hang out with her. But I also want to hang out with Rihanna. So I think I would take Rihanna because I want her closet very badly. Uh yes, I want her closet. So I would want to trade places with her, just try on her clothes, try on her jewelry. Like she has like so many like archived pieces that you guys have to find the picture of her with the heart-shaped, coat that she wore in New York. Her street like style is admirable. So maybe I'm gonna choose Rihanna. And plus, like she's like a businesswoman now too. She's like taking a step back from music and has for a while. So besides like her movie stuff, I would love to just chill and just like come up with ideas for a makeup line or something. I want to take her. So yeah. Yeah.
Shout out. And I've said this to my wife plenty of times. I personally have bought stuff for my wife from there and myself. Savage Fenty is killing the game, fellas.
Yes. Yes.
If you have that special somebody, Savage Fenty, trust me, fire. And I'm not even talking about the lingerie. Obviously, yes, the lingerie, Rihanna killed it. But just even the one piece jump, like everything on there, pretty much what they be doing. Every single thing on there, legit. And it's stuff that I bought for my wife that people to this day still be like, "Oh, where's that from? That look nice. Oh, that look nice." And I felt good, like, yeah, Savage, you feel me? I was Savage 50, you feel me? Like, I was on that early. So shout out to Rihanna for sure.
Yes.
We're gonna end off rapid fire questions. So these got to be answered quickly to end off the show, right? Morning person or night owl?
Night owl.
Coffee, tea, or something else?
Coffee.
Book, podcast, or Netflix binge?
Book.
Favorite city you visited or want to visit?
I really like Chicago. I want to go back. Chicago.
I have not been, and I keep hearing great things about Chicago.
Chicago's good.
It's on my list.
And you're a foodie, so you got to go. Sorry.
That's what I've heard about. That's why outside of the sights and seas, I've heard a lot. They said it's one of the top places for all different types of food in the country. That's my main motivation that I want to go to Chicago. That's just me. Dream musical guest you haven't interviewed yet?
Ooh, Beyonce.
That sounds about right. Not surprised by that answer. We'll try to make sure maybe she'll see it when we post these clips. I'll tag her, and maybe we could help facilitate that somehow. She sees the post, and next thing you know, she's on the podcast. So hopefully we could facilitate that some way. I'll tag her in all the clips. I'll tag Tiana. I'll tag Rihanna in all the clips.
Yes, Tiana. Yes, Tiana too. And Rihanna. Yeah, sorry. Yes.
I will definitely tag them in. Maybe we could make it happen. Maybe they'll end up seeing it and reach out to you. So most definitely, we again appreciate you hopping on this episode, hopping on the BME podcast. Yeah, I know the vibes here though. If you stay ready, you don't gotta get ready. Bench mob, we out. Peace.